Tonight's guest has brought a business to the city of Elizabeth that we've never had. I shouldn't say never. There may have been one here. It's just one that I am not familiar with. And this new idea here for the city of Elizabeth exists in communities throughout the country. But Elizabethans and young people in Elizabeth always had to travel to get to one. And it's basically called the Hit Factory. And the Hit Factory is teaching kids how to hit a ball, teaching kids how to play baseball, softball for little girls. So it's a great opportunity, and I'm pleased to be joined by the owner of the Hit Factory, Mr. Troy Carrington. Troy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Now, as I said in my remarks, something like this has never been here, and myself and Councilman Grover were honored to throw out the first pitch or to take the first whack with a bat at a ball.
Yes.
And we had a lot of fun a couple of Saturdays ago at your place.
Yes.
First of all, what is the Hit Factory, and how did you come up with the name, and what made you get involved in this type of business? And
okay. Well, the Hit Factory is
sitting around having a few beers some night and saying, we need for your kids. We need one of these in Elizabeth. How did it go?
Something like that. Something like that. Well, the Hit Factory is baseball, softball training. My partner David Cardona and I, we coach baseball here in Elizabeth and Elmora. We coach the all-star teams, which require us to travel from city to city. We've traveled all over the place, and we go to facilities like this and spend a lot of money to train our kids, to train our team, because there's no place around here like this. While we're at these places, we see a lot of kids from the city of Elizabeth in these other places, in towns all over, training as well. And this is always something that we talked about doing. We saw an opportunity. My wife and I, we're real estate agents around here, so we found a nice location. So we checked it out, talked about it, put our heads and a couple of dollars together, and decided to go forward with it.
Now, how'd you get the name the Hit Factory?
Well, you know, with anything, you know, with success, it comes hard work, and the hardest workers are factory workers. You know, it's a catchy name, but it kind of makes sense when you gel it all together. The Hit Factory, that's what we do. We bring kids into our place to work on their swing, work on their game, and it's hard work.
So Troy, the type of training that the Hit Factory offers, is there an age limit? Is it young girls and boys, or is it more
Absolutely.
Teenagers? What can you do there?
It's all ages. We have anyone who can pick up a bat and ball and play the game. T-ballers play from the age of 4. We got college kids. We have adults that come in for training, and we have all types of training. We have not just baseball specific, but athletic training. We have strength and conditioning training, speed and agility, and just a good workout athletic training for anyone, not just baseball players. We offer classes for kids of different ages. Obviously, you can't train a 17-year-old with a 4-year-old, so we have age-specific classes and skill-specific classes. We have classes for batting, classes for fielding, classes for pitching, and we're open to the public too. So if you want to just walk in.
I met a young woman there on opening day when we kicked it off, and she's a college softball player.
Yeah, she's one of our trainers, Rebecca Satz. She's an excellent girls hitting softball instructor. A lot of the girls that come through, they'd rather work out with a girl who can hit. I have an excellent boys hitting instructor as well, but Rebecca is a phenomenal hitter. You can actually Google her name and see her. She has a YouTube page where she's given some instruction on hitting. She's done instruction in Middlesex County, I think Hudson County. She's done instruction all over the place. So she's excellent.
And so the ages, you go up to teenagers, 17, 18, right?
We go to all ages.
All ages.
All ages.
Adults can come in and hit the ball.
Adults can come. If they want some training, we can train them on how to
Where
hit
are you
the ball.
located, first of all?
We're on Reuter Avenue, which is...
a lot of people don't know where Reuter Avenue is.
You're absolutely correct. Reuter Avenue is actually where the Portuguese Club is located. Right off of Route 1. You can't access it directly from Route 1, so you got to kind of go around down Maple Avenue to Grove Street and reach our place, but it's very accessible. You can see us from the highway. We're in walking distance from Elizabeth High School. We're right there. We're in the middle of everything.
If you come up the ramp from Pearl Street, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
You come up the ramp as you're getting on the Route 1, the Portuguese Club will be on your right.
Yes.
And if you get to the Portuguese Club, you passed your place.
Absolutely. You passed our place. If you get to the Portuguese Club, you passed our place, but our sign is so big you can't pass it. You can't miss it.
So how does the business work? The students, need to join like a karate school open to the public? You just wait for walk-ins? How does
both.
this work?
Both. You can join. We have membership packages. You can join, and with our membership packages, you get discounted rates on what a walk-in would pay. You can also just walk in occasionally and buy some tokens, hit a ball, or just walk in for some instruction, you know, if the time slot's available. It's probably better to call and find out the time slot's available, if the trainer's available, to make an appointment, just so you don't walk in and you're disappointed because it's being used at that time. But it's open to all types of things. Like I mentioned before, we have classes that people sign up for. You can do it on our website. You can call and sign up for these classes, or just come in person and sign up for those classes just like you would a karate school. And there's certain levels. You know, we just started a class this past Saturday called Little Sluggers for kids from ages 4 to 6, and it's the cutest thing. We just introduce them to the game. You know, we get them playing safety first. We get them playing with wiffle balls and bats. We get them running, teach them how to run bases. It's really nice, and it gets the kids up early. It gets them exercising, and it gets them involved in learning the sport. And we kind of graduate them to the next level of classes, which is our all-star power hitting classes. And we have classes from different age ranges and different levels and different skill levels, all the way through adults.
Troy, you said you're coaching in Elmora.
Yes.
Youth League. Are you an Elizabeth kid? You grew up here? Or?
I actually grew up in Hillside, very close to Elizabeth. I went to school in Hillside High School. I never played organized sports. It was due to medical conditions when I was young, but I played a lot of unorganized, baseball, football, basketball, what have you. And you know, my leadership, I guess, I was the person that organized all of the unorganized activities that we had. We had streets that played against one another. And
that's the way it was when I was growing up. Van Buren Avenue would play against Jackson Avenue type of thing. Exactly.
Clinton Place would play against Williamson Avenue and so on. Yeah, that's how we did it.
The training in the Hit Factory, do you think the kids come back for more? I mean, where's the saturation point? Kids at some point feel they're better than the adults teaching them. That happens all over. So where's the saturation point?
I don't think there is. You know, even major league players.
I don't think there is either, but I'm just curious to know.
Not.
I'm just curious to know, how do you maintain those clients when they may think they've reached a saturation point?
Well, if it's totally up to the client. You know, we recommend working out as much as possible, as often as possible. Even major league players like Derek Jeter, to this day, still hits 100 balls off the tee every day. You know, it's all about consistency and repetition. If you're not doing it every day, you may lose something. It's not like riding a bike, you know. And so, you know, we promote that you come in and work out as often as possible. But it's up to the customer, it's up to the athlete on how far they want to go and how much training they feel they need.
The idea for the business, we talked about it briefly, but is it you and your partner, and then you have other people working? Oh
yes, my lovely wife who you met out here. She's the brains behind my brain. So she. Well,
that was a really good thing to say right before Father's Day.
Absolutely.
Maybe you'll get a bigger gift.
I hope so. Let's keep our fingers crossed. My wife and my partner's wife, Madeline. It's a family business. We work together. Our kids work in there. They help with the customers. They help picking up baseballs and setting up people. And it's a family thing, a family affair.
So you're only open a couple of weeks now.
3.5 weeks.
Right.
Yes.
So how's the public responded so far?
The public has been great. We have a lot of affiliations with all of the little leagues in Elizabeth. There's 3 little leagues in Elizabeth. All the presidents have been through offering their support. We actually sponsor little league teams in Elmora and Eport. We haven't sponsored one yet in North Elizabeth, but we plan to. We have banners up. We've gotten outpouring of support from the public. You saw our grand opening day. We had during the course of the day, we had about 400 or 500 people come through.
I thought they were there for you and your wife.
Yeah, and the free hot dogs and the free burgers. Yeah, but they've been very supportive. We've gotten a lot of phone calls and people just coming through and signing up. And, you know, this is unadvertised. We just opened the doors and people just started coming through. So we really want to push now and get the word out that we're open.
And the season, it just opened. What do you think the busiest time's going to be?
Well, from our experience, the busiest time in this type of business would be wintertime. You know, the parks are open right now, so a lot of coaches and players have that space available outdoors to to do what they got to do out there. And in the wintertime, it picks up because there's no place to play. The weather is not as good as it is now. So we expect it to pick up. But honestly, it's been pretty busy just opening the doors right now. So it's interesting.
So if it's been busy now, and what are your hours?
We open Monday to Friday, 2 to 9 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
And what's your busiest day so far?
Our busiest day, surprisingly, has been Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday. You would assume...
All these kids who struck out on the weekend.
On the weekend, exactly.
They're figuring out what they did wrong.
Exactly, coming for some work. We assumed it would be on the weekends opening up, but Mondays and Tuesdays we've been flooded. So.
And you have, what, three areas, 3 staging areas?
We have 3 batting tunnels, they're called.
I'm glad you told me what they were called.
Yeah, they're batting tunnels. Yeah, you'll see them, tunnel 1, tunnel 2, tunnel 3. And the one where you throw out the pitch, that's actually our bullpen slash batting tunnel. It's 60 feet deep, so we can work out a full pitching, have a speed gun there so we can see how fast you throw. And 2 other tunnels. I have an iron mic machine in the second tunnel where you can buy tokens and put the tokens in and just bat all day if you like. And that can throw up to 95 miles an hour. A lot of people love the iron mic. I prefer live pitching myself because I like to see it coming out of the hand, but a lot of people just want to come in and get that.
But 95 miles an hour,
yeah, I can't hit that.
No, I can't hit that either.
I never could.
Yeah, that's not going to work with me.
Yeah.
You talked about family.
Yes.
The Hit Factory.
Yes.
So it's a family business.
Yes, it is a family business. My partner is David Cardona. He's a local businessman as well. He owns a barbershop locally. He's owned a few businesses. My wife and I have ventured into a lot of businesses. I mentioned we did real estate. I'm an operations manager for a Fortune 500 company. So we've been involved in business, and my partner David and my wife have grown up together since they're like kindergarten age or something.
So they get all the credit then, right?
Yeah, they get all the credit. They're like family, and my wife's family is my family, so we're family. So, but it's been great. It's nice working with people that for so long, and we actually sat and talked about this business at family events for years, and now we have an opportunity to do it, and it's being well received. It's a beautiful thing.
We're going to take a commercial break, do a couple of commercials, Troy,
Yes,
and we're going to come back and spend a couple more minutes on the Hit Factory and your goals in helping young people play baseball and softball.
Yes, sir.
Please stay with us after these messages, where I'll be joined for the second half with Troy Carrington, the owner of the Hit Factory on Reuter Avenue near the Portuguese Club in the city of Elizabeth. Welcome back to our city. I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Troy Carrington of the city of Elizabeth, who has opened up a business called the Hit Factory. I thought they were batting cages. He called them tunnels. I'm glad to hear the proper language in the first part of the show. And he's been doing a great job over the last 3 weeks. Hopefully it's going to continue for many, many more months and years, teaching young people the art of baseball and softball. And Troy, one of the things we did not talk about in the opening segment was camps. And you are working with your partners to try to develop some type of camps for the people who want to come and participate in your business.
Yeah, definitely. There's a big demand for camps. A lot of our customers have been calling and asking about summer camps. School is letting out in a week or so, and everybody's looking for a camp to take their kids to. And it's just logical that the people who play baseball would rather go to a camp and play baseball at the same time. It just makes sense. We've actually been in touch with the Parks Department. We got our applications for our permits for the parks, which we should be securing by next week. And it's just a matter of putting the whole program together. Hopefully we can do that within the next few weeks and put together a nice camp program.
And Troy, how would you go on the road a little bit? It's a little hot in that warehouse.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the camp wouldn't be in the warehouse. That's where we do our classes and clinics. The camp will be out in the park. Warnaco Park is where we're trying. That's just the most popular park and most local, closest park. And we'd have probably field number 1. That's the most common field. That's the field where we practice. We take our teams out there with the Elmora team. So we'll try to be running the camp out on field 1 this summer.
So it'll run for a couple of hours, and
it'll actually run most of the morning. We're looking at a time frame of around 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Thursday, not 5 days a week. We'll do it 4 days a week. And on weekends, we'll try to run another clinic out in the park as well. Get kids outside, give them some activity, give them something to do.
Long-term goals for the Hit Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Do you expand? Do you slow down? Do you franchise? I mean,
Oh, no.
yeah,
We don't slow
obviously,
down.
I know. I mean, obviously, you've given this a lot of thought, and
Yes.
you've created an investment. You had to come up with a few dollars to get this thing going.
Yeah, a few.
It's not like you're all of a sudden drawing large salaries. That doesn't happen in a
No, that
startup
doesn't
business.
happen overnight.
So where do you see the business going?
Well, you know, when we sat down, my partners and I, when we sat down and developed a strategy for this business, you know, you have to have goals. You have to have a short-term goal, long-term goal, and a future goal. And, you know, within the next 5 years, we'd like to expand. You know, we have a warehouse right now that's 3,200 square feet. We're leasing it. We don't own it. And we have 3 batting cages, tunnels, whichever lingo people prefer. And we'd like to expand that. We'd like to make more. We'd like to make it bigger. We'd like to own our own building short term, you know, within the next 5 years or so. We want to get that done and expand and make it bigger. Honestly, if, you know, we just open the doors and people are pouring in now with just a few weeks with the business open, once we get our advertising push out there, we expect it to be too small for us very quickly. So we're looking to acquire more space, make it larger. You know, whatever the public demands, we want to be able to accommodate it.
Troy, what's your background educational-wise?
Educational-wise, I've taken a lot of courses, a lot of college courses. Never got my degree, but still working on it. I don't care if I'm 75. I'm still going to be working on my degree. I attended North Jersey School of Real Estate and Business. I've taken courses at Montclair, Bloomfield, Dowling College, where I'm working on business. I'm an operations manager for a Fortune 500 company right now, which is where I get a lot of my business background. It really helps in putting something together like this. And I do real estate. I'm a licensed real estate agent. So, you know, with all that business background and love for athletics and love for the sport, it was really easy to put it all together with business and athletics. Just put it together. It makes sense.
Now, can you sit down and watch a whole baseball game? Do you have the luxury to do that, or do you say, I happen to love baseball. I love the game. I think every pitch is a challenge. Mm-hmm. It's a guessing game. Mm-hmm. What pitch are they throwing, whether it be fastball, curveball, mm-hmm. slider, or some kind of other junk some pitchers have. So, and it gets to you quickly. Mm-hmm. It's only 66 feet and 2/3, right?
Yep.
Got to separate the pitcher from the batter. Mm-hmm. So the batter's got to decide quickly whether the batter's going to swing or not swing at a pitch.
Matter of seconds. Yeah.
Seconds.
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious to know, do you get the time to watch baseball?
I do watch baseball. A lot of times I'm watching the Encores. I'm a big Yankee fan. The Encore, because I'm so busy. You know, I work all night and I'm at the Hit Factory all day. So I'm pretty busy most of the time. But at the Hit Factory, we have a large 55-inch screen TV where we keep the baseball games on at all times. So as long as we're not busy with customers, we get a chance to glimpse a few innings in between work. And if I don't catch the game, you always catch the Encore later on. So I love to watch a whole game.
So the ability to teach kids.
Mm-hmm.
I used to coach up at the North Elizabeth Youth Baseball League. Mm-hmm. Used to be the president up there. Mm-hmm. And matter of fact, when I run for election, I always run into a few of the kids who I coached or coached against, and mm-hmm. some remember that I called them out when they were 7 years old, and won't let me forget that either.
Never forget that.
No, they don't. I don't know why. You know, the kids I called safe, they never bother saying anything. But I noticed coaching girls back then. Uh-huh. The girls seemed to listen a lot more. The girls seemed to, if you told them to get down on one knee and mm-hmm. block the ball as it was coming and let it hit your body, mm-hmm. They would. The guys, they kind of wave at it with their hand, and if it goes through their legs or over their glove.
Well, it's like that in life. Girls tend to listen more than boys in everything. You know, guys are just a little more thick.
You really are sucking up to that Father's Day gift, aren't you?
I am. My wife is in the other room.
So in this, now that it's not a game setting, mm-hmm. who do you think listens more?
Oh wow! Well, we have excellent trainers. You know, we have male and female trainers, so it's really kind of hard to tell because the girls work with the women and the guys work with the men. And they build good relationships with their customers or the players, and we haven't had any stubborn players yet. Yeah, a few. You got to tell them a couple of times, but they get it eventually. That's what we're there for. Yeah.
And baseball and softball for kids, there's probably no greater game to learn teamwork.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's a skill game. You have your teammates, you have camaraderie, you have competition. It is fantastic, and you're not just coaching kids to be excellent players. You're coaching them to work together, to communicate, to be better people. It all rolls over into life situations. The things you learn on the field and playing with a team.
So what do your kids think of this venture?
Oh, my kids love it. My daughter's she's a little older, so she's 21 years old. She's doing her thing, but she loves it. She's supportive. And my son's a local middle school baseball player, so as well as my partner's son, David. They love it. They're there every day working. They get free batting practice when there's nothing to do.
So before we break, can you give the audience the address, the phone number, who to contact, your hours of operation, and where you're located?
Absolutely. We are at 367 Reuter Avenue, Elizabeth, right next to the Portuguese Club, very close to Elizabeth High School. We are open Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. to 9 p.m., and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., right?
Phone number?
Phone number, 908-469-7244. Or viewers, you can call me directly and make appointments, 908-397-1835. I almost forgot my number there for a minute.
Troy, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us on the show.
Thank you.
I look forward to getting my daughter over there at some point to learn how to hit. She played softball for the first time this year.
Absolutely.
And thank you for opening up a business that we've never had.
Thank you for all the support. I appreciate it.
For Troy Carrington and the Hit Factory, I'm Chris Bolwage. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.